Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Real Hacker Hours podcast. This is basically where I just do the normal side project work I would normally do. I just hit the record button before I do it. Today, continuing looking at postfix. Right now I'm going to be looking at QMQPD. What that is it's effectively the postfix server for QMQP, which is another mail delivery protocol, sort of similar to SMTP, but a little bit different. Okay, continuing, yeah. This right here is QMQPD. Not that big of a code base as I've seen so far. Now, one thing I just want to say right off the bat is haven't looked at the QMQP protocol, so this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna start off by just taking a look at the source code real quick. Wait, no, not there. Where's QM? There we go. Okay, cool. Let's just take a look through here and just see what type of functionality it has. Open file, okay. Open a Q file, read content, sender, write attribute. Okay, one thing I'm gonna do right off the bat, I'm gonna take a second to do, I'm gonna pause the stream and just read up on the QMQP protocol and see like what the protocol itself looks like. Okay, so I tried looking online for like a QMQPRC, does not appear to be one, at least that's easily accessible. Get the feeling this just might be like a postfix specific protocol or something like that. Also, when I go on the Wikipedia page, for QMQP, like one of the two main links I see is like postfix QMQP implementation. So I get the feeling this is only used by a handful of mail servers. So what I'm going to try to do is reverse out the protocol via reversing out the code base. Now, how I plan on doing that, first let's start postfix. Okay, now that started. Looking online, I think I found what port is over. Give me a second. Port 628. So, like how with FTP, well, not Telnet, FTP, SMTP, and mainly any plain text. What is it? Yeah, plain text TCP application protocol, you can just connect to the server with a telnet connection, just start sending commands that way. I'm going to see if I can't do that for QMQP. Now that I've started this, let's try it. First, let's go connected VSFTPD. Okay, that was FTP. FTP is port 21. I believe SMTP is 25. Okay, yeah. So we're able to connect to the SMTP server postfix that way. Let's try to connect to QMQP, which is port 628. 628. Okay, this isn't working. I'm gonna try googling for like postfix QMQP setup and see what that gets me. Okay, cool, I'm back. I got QMQPD to work. Effectively, what I had to do is there's a postfix config file master.cf, I believe. Yeah, master.cf. In it, you can specify a lot of the different services. QMQBD was commented out, and you could uncomment it. Also, another thing that I want to do later is if we check out the old queue manager, we can do so via uncommenting this line. But yeah, uncommented that line. Reloaded postfix. Had a simple Python script that just connected to the socket on port. Well, just TCP socket port 628, and it spawned it. Probably it's not running because it's been a while since I've connected to it. But yeah, there it is, QMQPD. So cool. Now that we have it running, we can dynamically analyze it and use that to guide our static analysis. Okay, cool, getting back to it. Now, here is the, actually, yeah, here's the main server. We can see that QMQPD service appears to be the primary function, so let's take a look at that. Service one client, so this function should probably, it's the main function for servicing one client. Let's verify that. Although this is kind of uniform with what we've seen with a lot of different postfix services. Attach. What is the... That is the PID. Let's set a breakpoint for here. First, let's check to make sure that it runs once per connection. Okay, it does. Cool. Oh, it runs once per connection. Let's take a look at the... start looking at the code. Check to see... Okay. Service takes no command line arguments. Cool. One of inet or inet. Okay, checks if networking functionality is available. Connected to our port. Look at the peer name, initialize some connection. Looks like it's just getting connection to the client. Looks as if it needs to turn on verbose logging. Provide the key. So it looks like this QMQPD protocol proto function is what actually handles the QMQP protocol. So let's take a look at there. It takes an argument, which is the actual connection to the client. Switch vstate client. The string error lost, error time, error for. So looking at this function, we can see that it starts off by having a switch state where the thing that's being evaluated is the state, state of the client. Looks like most of these are just various errors. If case 0, these probably just error handling, and this here. See if I want to talk. Okay, so this right here looks like it's where it will actually talk to the client. Here. Let's go ahead and see something. I have no idea what the QMQP protocol is at this point, but socket.connect. I'm just going to try sending some data. Let's first make sure that this runs. And one thing you notice is that the QMQP, I hope I'm spelling that right. The process terminates, so we need to restart. Yeah, restart it. Cool. QMQPD receive. Let's set a breakpoint for here. Let's see if it hits it. So it doesn't hit it. Not too surprised. It could just be that our script is closing the connection before it actually gets to that point. So let's try receiving something. Socket.receive one. See if this changes anything. No, it is not. Let's try setting a breakpoint for QMQPD reply. And okay, so we had a breakpoint. Cool. QMD protocol. line 722. Let's take a look. Okay, it looks like there is a. So this is the reply that we're getting is executed from right here, which we see that here. And looking at this, it's an if-then statement where it first looks like named address list match QMPD clients and state name state address. Looks like here what's going on is there's probably some like access control list for QMQP clients that are valid. And if it is, then it will run this QMQPD receive, which that makes sense based upon the things I was Googling. I saw a lot of things like, oh, hey, it should only be exposed to specific things. So it would make sense for it to have some sort of like access control list. I'm going to quickly just Google postfix add QMQP clients. I'm going to pause the stream while I just Google this. Okay, I appear to have hit the QMQPD receive function. How I did so was online I found that in the config file. Well, in the main.cf, there's a config unit, which is just QMQPD authorized clients, and I just added my localhost address, which is what I'm reaching out to. And so, one thing that's a bit interesting, we hit a breakpoint for QMQPD receive, and it resolves to this memory address. However, it's very obvious looking at the assembly code that this in itself is not a function, so it looks like QMQPD receive got inlined to be right here. Probably the only spot it was called. I'm just going to quickly check that assumption. Save. Yeah, that's a comment, so it's not actual code, where it's declared, and where it's called. So this is only called in one spot, which is right here. As such, the compiler just decided to inline it. And cool, so now let's look at this actual function now that we have seen it. Receive QMQP message send reply. Open a Q file. This must be first so we can simplify the error logging. Okay, not sure which Q file it's going to open, but oh well. Let's continue going. Reading nor overall net string length indicate. Okay, state where equals receiving QMQP packet header. Net string get length. Read content, copy sender, write attributes, copy recipients, write content, close file, extend status. So it looks like this function is where like we're getting a lot. This function is responsible for calling the other functions which actually reads it. Let's take a look at QMQPD read content. Net string get. Okay. This is probably in util. State where equals receiving. Okay, one thing that I'm just finding is a bit weird. I'm seeing, okay, so QMQPD state is the struct that it's passing around. Probably it indicates, oh, hey, this is the current status of the connection. And it has this parameter called where, and that appears to be like indicate, oh, hey, this is the part of the network protocol transfer that we're in. The thing that seems strange to me is the value that it's using to indicate it is a string, not like an e number or something like that. Or I guess it is kind of, oh, not like a constant, like, oh, hey, receiving state that really means 3. No, it's an actual string. Just seem first time I've seen something like that, but yeah. Cool. Receive. Net string get. Okay, so we'll get it. Uh, read content. Does it attempt to parse it though? Copy, read, and write the envelope sender. Copy sender. Okay, cool. So the copy sender function, it looks like it deals partially with actually evaluating it. Read content looks like that's just responsible for scanning in data. Actually, we'll start parsing some of it. What about this? Okay. Right attribute. Looks like it's parsing more of it. Okay. Receive buff. I'm not vstream get character state client. Might be, this looks like it's doing a bit more of just scanning additional data from the client. But yeah, what I plan on doing to move forward is, one thing I like to do is understand more of like how the protocol works and how it interacts with this particular daemon. In order to do that, what my plan is I'm going to be doing a lot of just Googling. I saw some various documentations that just like, oh hey, this is what this protocol looks like. I'm gonna try and like implement that and see how that functionality actually corresponds to this in as it's running. Um, since that's just gonna be a lot of googling and trial and error, I'm gonna cut off the podcast here. Thank you for watching.